Hello gamers! Today we are going to be testing the Lefthander's Aegis belt, a mythic item that grants you 20,990 damage shield for 1 second while roll dodging. Now let me preface, this is not a build video, but I did nerd out on this, going frame by frame, counting the absorbed damage the shield does in 1vx situations and in a duel. We are on a MagBlade, and for informative purposes I am wearing Marcelox's Monster Helm, Shattered Fate, and Retch Vitality, 1 heavy, 4 medium, 1 light. Here are my front bar stats. We're missing Major Brutality because we can't proc it right now. And this is back bar. I don't know where my staff is bugged and I'm holding nothing, but there it is. So let's go on an adventure, friends. Let's test this out in the wild, rolling and absorbing like the true pleb we are. Is this mythic worth running for the damage absorption? Can we survive on this silly build? Let's see how trolly we can be. Who do we have here? Let's see if we can get some reactions being an absolute roly-poly goblin.
Slippery son of a bitch, that's it.
For those that are keeping an eye out on the numbers, however, the damage written in between the brackets is the damage absorbed by the shield. It can also indicate block damage as well, but if you see it when there's a glowing golden shield around my character, that's the mythic doing its job.
You have the roll dodge mythic? I'm looking at his health bar. He's shooting up.
I know I wouldn't be able to kill him. He's on an Arcanist running up to 39k health with Ward and Pocket Healer Buddy following him around, buffing him. So I figured I'd just have some fun testing out this mythic around the tower.
Why is this guy even playing the game? Honest to God. Let's go ahead and find something better to do with your time, dude. That's a joke. Mythic belt. It wasn't just the mythic belt either. That's the thing. Oh, like damage reduction too. Like my last hit for 600, he had like all sorts of shit. It's just like, what are you doing then? You know?
Well, we can see that Fangrush was clearly not a fan of fighting against it, but I do thank you for your heartfelt comments and genuine reactions. I mean, he's not wrong. I clearly need something better to do with my life since I spent the last hours going frame by frame, counting the absorbed damage that the Lefthander's Aegis shield does for an ESO video that I hope will be informative to some. So let me channel my inner nerd here. I did not include block damage mitigated in the calculations, and you'll be able to see them at the screen at the end of the fights. The fights are sped up, not to bore you to death, but I did slow down some sequences to appreciate the nice pillow that this mythic is giving us. This fight was against some blues, wielding bursty pew-pew sticks, probably some Joggerkin builds and a red or two mixed in there. The total damage absorbed during this fight was 61,472. This fight here is against a lower CP 585 player, some sort of bow warden build, but I included it because it shows a nice counter against the bow ulti right here. The reason I have Wretched on is to be able to carry my sustain from my heals and my roll dodging for the research purpose of this video. In an actual fighting Cyrodiil situation, you won't need to roll dodge as much, but this mythic definitely comes in handy when you need to get out of sticky situations, or when you have a lot of dots on you and you can't out-heal or purge. This is especially effective against siege. It will shield you from siege damage over time. You just gotta roll dodge around a couple times, and unless dots or incoming damage is more than 20,990, your health bar just won't move, so just throw a heal maybe between a roll dodge and you'll just be fine. Moving on, this is a 1v1 versus an Arcanist. This was actually a good duel, so GG's Bobby on this fight. After a while, I did figure out his combo where he would immobilize us and throw a Donnie and Aura Beam. So I tried to gauge when to roll dodge to activate with shield. I also completely forgot on Marcelox on in this fight, but that's okay. I'm gonna speed this up, but I did slow down a part where we absorbed damage from his Dawnbreaker, so that was pretty clutch. Another great example of how this mythic can help shield you. As you can see, I'm playing quite defensively, kiting and staying range at times, because besides the rolly shield and the higher pen that we have due to Shattered Fate, we're still very squishy on this build. This is what we wanted though, really, to properly test this mythic. I feel that if we would have had higher health pool or any other added armor damage mitigation sets, it wouldn't properly show what this could do for us. So throwing together 2 crafted sets for a melee build I can sustain and do damage was the general idea behind this. and see if you could survive. But so far, I'd love to have your thoughts in the comments. Is this mythic worth it or not? Maybe you're running it, or you're interested in running it. I personally really like it. I love having more bursty builds instead of tanky ones, and I've been having fun experimenting with different setups with this mythic. It's also worth noting, however, that as written in the mythic's description, we no longer avoid damage, and we absorb it instead. So the real question is how much that damage would have been dodged anyways if we weren't using the left-hander spell. And that's really hard to tell, just from a video, so I think that's really what it boils down to. For the siege mitigation and stuff, I guess it is, so it does depend what your playstyle is. I do count the damage absorbed as well during this fight if you're curious, and I'll have it marked at the end of this video. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, it's always appreciated. On this note, may your Dawnbreakers hit and your spells grit. Nixon out.